What is up, Machinima Sports? I am Mega Short Fuse, and since E3 is next week, I probably might not get a chance to talk about the topic I have for you today any other time come the or after the EA press conference. Now, I've noticed a lot of people in the racing community really want Need for Speed Underground 3 to be made. I don't like that idea, and this will explain why. Now let's take a trip back through time. Need for Speed Underground. That thing came out in 2003. Right around the time when the import tuner scene really was getting big and about to hit its apex. EA knew that. They capitalized on it, and what we got was an extremely good racing game, unlike mostly everything what we've gotten before, in that it had very decent controls and gameplay, coupled with the ability to deeply customize your own vehicle in a competent way. And I really liked the idea. Next year came Underground 2. That was awesome as well. It actually got better. And that was 2004. Things were starting to calm down. But still, we got a very good game with decent customization. Well, not decent. Well, it was better than Underground even. Then, however, Most Wanted rolled around, and we still had customization, but we got cops. That was awesome. What I'm trying to make here is, these games were awesome because they blended customization and very good racing, not because of the customization itself. As we will see, things start to get pretty bad pretty fast. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because people are, like I said, pushing for Underground 3. Why? What Underground and Underground 2 were cashing in on a trend. There was a trend of customizing going around. It was really popular. They cashed in on it. They struck pay dirt. They got gold out of it. But they also delivered a solid racing game. However, after 2006's Carbon, which is still one of my favorite Need for Speeds, if not my favorite, things got horrible. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2007 we got Need for Speed Pro Street. What is Pro Street? Well, in a nutshell, it's the game with the deepest customization of arcade racing this side of Gran Turismo. Problem was that it had an incredibly deep customization pool. You could even fine-tune the details so you got less wind resistance and less shock when you went through bumps, for example. The cost of that, however, was one of the clunkiest pieces of crap I have ever played in my entire life. True enough, you could customize your car, you will say. You could make your car drivable. Problem with that was, the only way to get your car functional, I found out, was to stiffen up the ride. It all basically boiled down to minute little details that basically made your car control like a car in a Need for Speed game, at the expense of you cannot hit anything ever, or your car will start behaving like a pogo stick. Flip over and you will die inside a little. The only redeeming quality of that game was the sprint thing. I think it was called Speeds or Speed Run, something among those lines. And those were awesome because I just played those in recording for this video. They were high intensity, high risk, high reward. My English is running away. But yeah, that was the saving grace. And then we got Undercover. I hate Need for Speed Undercover with a burning passion that can only be attributed to, I don't know, the British hating Nazi Germany or people hating Nazi Germany in general. I can't draw parallels through my hatred for that game. It had a horrid story that was, at least Most Wanted had a story that was campy and cheesy. This was too serious, convoluted, and nonsensical. The graphics, apart from the cars, which looked really nice, and once again, the customization, which was excellent. It was simplified. Pro Street had its ins and outs. This was slap things that make your car go fast and then make it look good. It was good. I liked the customization system, as you can probably guess from me recreating my favorite car, which is a trend towards this video, or throughout this video, the Shelby GT500E, but that's besides the point. To test how bad this game was, look, okay, let me just backtrack a little. The thing that made Undercover bad wasn't its horrid story or its mediocre graphics as compared to other games, specifically Midnight Club Los Angeles, which came out the same year, in like, they were 2 days apart, I think. What separated it was that it had the worst AI I have ever faced in a racing game. You have heard of rubber banding, sure, but check this out. This happened while I was recording footage for this. Now, the AI is so hell-bent on keeping its own racing line that you do not exist. It's like Battlefield 3's campaign all over again. But the races were incredibly easy up until the point where you're seeing now, which is basically the game is over. I've completed it and I'm racing for the hell of it. Before that, you could literally just hold down the gas pedal and succeed. And to test this theory out, I started a chase. Now, not the racer AI wasn't the only thing completely borderline retarded. The cop AI was also mind-bogglingly stupid. And to test this out, what I did was I literally got in a confrontation with the cops and with the help of forward, backward, and nitrous, I almost evaded them. I almost evaded the police without steering. That's how bad it is. And you can see my whole attempt on my channel. I'll probably upload it just now, or it's probably up already, I don't know. But that game had customization, but it wasn't fun, it wasn't enjoyable because it sucked to play. It was horrid. It was uncontrollable at points. The only reason why I could control the Shelby was because I fine-tuned it to hell, and that for some reason worked better than Pro Street. But customization didn't make this game excellent. The gameplay is what makes Need for Speed games excellent. You want proof? Hot Pursuit. The game developed by Criterion Games, the makers of Burnout. Who doesn't love themselves some goddamn Burnout? That game had no customization, all it had was stock cars, which controlled excellent. The control in that game was, you could fucking drift a thread through a needle, it was so precise. It was extremely fun. It was enjoyable. It was extremely good to look at, and it's still on the goddamn PlayStation. I'm sorry, I'm used to PC graphics, don't hate. But all joking aside, I really think it's one of the best looking games I have ever played. The run is not bad. People keep everything I saw on the run trailers when it initially got announced was people desperately wanting Underground 3, and at the end of the day, you really want to ask yourself this. Do you want a game which you can slap 24-inch rims on a car, but you can't really drive it? Or do you want a game which you can play and have moments like this one? You be the judge.
To be